channel. It's Naj Nicole here, and we're back with week 2 of Snatched for Summer, my 12-week fitness challenge where I'm showing you guys all of the workouts, meal plans, what I eat in a day, and just my overall progress over a full 12 weeks to get nice and snatched and cinched for summer 2021, which hopefully is a COVID-free summer. We can only pray. So every week I'll be coming out with a new video on Saturday. If you guys aren't subscribed, I don't know why, then you might have missed my last video where I talked to you guys through how to customize your own workout program without a trainer. For my ladies that don't really want to spend so much money on a fitness trainer or a personal trainer at your gym, and you kind of just want to do it on your own, which is definitely achievable. But in today's video, we're going to take it a step further where we're going to talk through exactly how to develop your own workout routine from start to finish. And of course, I'm going to be saying this in all of my videos, but disclaimer, I am not a personal trainer. I'm not a CPT. A lot of these advice and tips that I'll be giving is from experience of me working out for over 10 years now. So definitely use this as more of a guide and different things that you can actually research further and make sure that you're working out safely and getting those gains that you want. So for this first part, I want to touch on something I talked about in the last video, which is building out your workout splits and how you're going to schedule out each workout for each week of the program. So just to reiterate a couple things that I said, you definitely want to use more of a split by body part where you can actually focus on one body part at a time and make sure that you're giving enough time between workouts so that one body part can rest while you're working out another one. So this would look like having a leg day one day and then following that up with maybe back and abs one day, shoulders and arms the next day, and then back to legs again, where you give yourself a whole 2 days of rest on your legs, but you're still going to the gym and still burning that fat. But then to add on to this here too, I found that it's also pretty interesting to try to mix up the days and the body parts that you actually pair with different structures that actually flow pretty well while you're in the gym. So what you can do is try to build a split where you're actually focusing on body parts that can be hit by a compound workout together and then maybe isolating it throughout the workout that you're doing on that day. And also looking into maybe structuring your splits as the whole push-pull structure. You kind of do the body part that usually does a pushing motion on one day and a pulling motion on the other day. So pushes would be your shoulder days, your triceps, they usually are the muscles that push away, and then back and biceps where you can do more of the pulling motion. So back is usually a row or even with, a bicep curl, that's more of a pulling motion there. What I like to do is combine a push and pull into a circuit or something like that too. So those are some key things that you can use when you're building out your actual days and splits to make sure you're keeping your workouts diversified, but also focusing in on those key workouts that are going to help you achieve that goal physique. So, all right, cool. You've got your workout splits, you've got a 3-day plan if you're a beginner, and you only have time for a 3-day workout split. You have your leg day, push-pull day, and another leg day. So then, what are the workouts you're going to do? Here's where you definitely have to do a lot of research, because there are so many different variations of some of the baseline workouts that you can find out there, especially on Instagram and with all of the YouTubers that are out there now. When I was first starting out, I definitely utilized a lot of social media to figure out my workouts. But it's key here to build a baseline for yourself of the workouts that you can do and the workouts that are challenging for you. And also try to venture out to research actual workouts that can fit into your fitness goals and the ideal physique that you want. But definitely it's key to keep some kind of a bank of workouts that you can just pick and pull from to create your workout routine. And another key thing here when you're doing this is to make sure that you kind of survey the gym that you're actually using. if you're using a home gym, if you're using your apartment gym, or you're using an actual full-fledged gym, if it's small, if it's big, what equipment they have specifically, and make sure that the workouts that you write down are tailored to that. So you don't want to write down maybe like a TRX workout where you're doing a back row on a TRX band, but when you walk in the gym, there's no TRX band in sight, so you don't know what to do. Or you're at a Planet Fitness and all you have is a Smith machine and no actual squat rack where you can do, you know, those certain movements. Make sure when you're building that bank, you also have the workouts that are very versatile for every environment that you're going to be working out in. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. So the next piece, I want to start off this section by just giving you guys a couple of definitions of a lot of these gym terminologies. I know it took me a while to actually learn a lot of these and make sure that I knew what people were saying when I was walking around the gym, but these are some of the key terms that you'll hear and a lot of things that you'll actually use once you start getting into a full workout regimen. Alright, so the first basic beginner terms that you should definitely know when you're in the gym is reps. So reps is just a shorthand for repetitions, and that just means how many times you're doing an exercise for in one sitting. Next term is sets. So you can just think of sets as the building block of reps. So within one set, you'll have X amount of reps that you did for that one exercise. So this is when people say, I did 3 sets of 10. That's 3 sets of 10 repetitions of workouts. So 3 sets of 10 squats. I squatted 10 times, 3 times over. Next is superset. Now this is where you get a little bit more into the intermediate stage. So a superset is basically putting 2 workouts back to back, but there's no rest in between the 2 sets of the different workouts. And that is a great burnout that I use sometimes when I'm ending a lot of my circuits, and it just feels great when you get that little burn. Next is a drop set. So drop sets a lot of times are used when you're trying to build more strength and really burn out your muscles. So a drop set is basically where you would start off with the heaviest weight and then work your way down to the lightest, and you just feel how much your muscles get tired out to pretty much failure. And again, that's a really good burn there too. You can also do kind of like a snake ladder thing where you're doing high reps to low reps and working your way back up to high reps. So there's so many different things that you can do. Next kind of workout scheme and design is a circuit. So this is pretty much how I like to design my workout, is to build out a circuit, which is basically just a round of 3 to 5 exercises that you do all at once with no rest in between. And then you take your rest after that before you start a next circuit. So this type of structure can sometimes be used instead of different sets. So for me, how I kind of design it is that I would do a circuit of maybe 3 workouts. I'll do a lunge, a bodyweight squat, and then maybe a burpee. And I'll do 10 repetitions of each, and that would be one circuit, and then I would repeat that 3 times. So you see how that kind of goes interchangeably with sets. It just depends on how you want to structure your workouts, if you want to do that, or you just want to do a full list of maybe 8 workouts with that set structure instead of the circuit structure. Definitely circuit training really helps you to cut back on your rest times and kind of keep your heart rate up and pumping, especially when you're trying to lose weight. Next, we're going into more of the exercise styles, and like I said before, about the different body parts. So for an exercise that's going to hit multiple body parts at once, that would be your compound workouts. So your compound exercises would be something like a squat or a deadlift, where with a squat you're working out your core as well as your legs, and then with a deadlift you're working out your back as well as your hamstrings. And these type of workouts you'll see a lot in strength training and bodybuilding programs, just because it helps you to build a ton of muscle mass while also burning some fat. Next is isolated exercises. So think of compound, what's the opposite? Isolated. So isolated is focusing on one muscle group at a time. So your Romanian deadlifts are going to focus on a hamstring specifically. Your bicep curls are of course going to focus on biceps only, and things like that. So for me, a lot of times when I'm thinking about how I'm going to structure my workout routine for the day, I'll maybe do a circuit where the movements within the circuit are maybe 2 compound movements and 1 isolated movement, or vice versa. So you can see how you can build upon certain things to make sure that your workouts are challenging and also versatile. Next, we're going to go into more of like cardio terminology. Of course, I've been talking about this many times, and you've definitely heard of this, the HIIT, or HIIT training. So what that stands for, like everyone knows, I think, is high intensity interval training, which basically means that you're doing a specific cardio workout for a certain interval at high intensity, and then you come back down to more of a resting recovery period. And a lot of times that can be split up into seconds. So if you're on a treadmill, you might do 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off for 1 minute, and keep doing that for about 20 to 25 minutes to get a good burn. So this is one of the more dynamic ways to do cardio instead of just sitting on the treadmill for like 45 minutes to an hour, which a lot of people would do in college. But it's definitely something that I think appeals a lot to the people that don't like cardio, like me. I hate it. But with this, you kind of burn the same amount of calories just in a shorter period of time. Then on the flip side, you have LIS, which is low intensity steady state cardio, which basically is what it says, steady cardio. And usually you do that for a longer period of time. So for this, I usually like to do low intensity cardio on my active rest days. That style can just be, walking on a treadmill for about 30 minutes or walking with dumbbells on a treadmill for about 30 minutes. So whatever works for you. And then the last 2 terms kind of revolves more around how you're actually moving and actually putting tension on your muscles. So isometrics are more static movements that keep your muscles in a tense state without any stretching or much movement. So those are your planks or maybe static lunges. And a lot of times those are used to really help with your stability and your strength. Next is plyometrics. And plyometrics is probably one of my favorite styles of exercises, which is basically an explosive movement. A lot of times it entails a lot of jumping. So those are your jumping squats, jumping alternating lunges, your burpees, and things like that. And those really complement your HIIT training days as well as your leg days, as maybe like a burnout at the end. So now that we have all those definitions out of the way, let's actually dive into the structure of your workout. So this is going to be very general, very baseline, but it's definitely going to give you a good skeleton to run with from here. We'll start off with incorporating cardio into your workout. So a lot of this also depends on your personal preference. You can add in cardio either before your weightlifting workout or after your weightlifting workout. I love to do before because, like I said, I hate cardio. I love to just get in there, get it out of the way and out of my mind, and then just focus on weightlifting after that. So with the cardio, you can plan it out to do, like I said before, HIIT training, low intensity steady state cardio, or even just some group classes where you're doing cycling, boxing, or anything like that, and fitting it into your workout schedule on those specific workout split days. And then next, I want to really talk about incorporating warm-ups and stretches. So this is even after the cardio, before you actually start weightlifting. You could either do a warm-up or a dynamic stretch. So a warm-up could even be a little bit of cardio for maybe 5 to 10 minutes, or it can be a lot of the more dynamic movements like plyometrics, where you can do jump rope, can do jumping jacks, you can do high knees. A lot of those things serve as good warm-ups before maybe a leg day. And then if you're doing upper body, you can maybe do some dynamic stretches with your upper body or some push-ups. Warm-ups for sure help you to really avoid injuries, especially if you're prone to injuries, and also making sure that you're feeling that muscle-mind connection, because a lot of people just jump into the workout and then they forget that they're working out their back because it feels like they're working out their abs. But when you do a warm-up, you can kind of feel the muscle getting pumped, and it kind of connects that with your mind so that when you're doing the full workout, it feels a lot more natural. I specifically don't do a lot of stretches before my weightlifting. I like to do my stretches as a cool down, and those are more the isometric stretches, which are more static. Finally, we're moving on to the actual meat and bones of this, for me at least, and that is the weightlifting section. So for your weightlifting routine, there's 2 main things that I think everyone should do to kind of structure that out. And one is to develop your sets, reps, and rest scheme. So we already talked about sets and reps, but also figuring out how much rest time you need in between workouts is definitely going to help you to organize your workouts much better, especially for where you're at in your fitness journey. So if you're a beginner, you might need a longer rest period than an intermediate or advanced person. So when I was starting out, I like to do 3 sets of 10 reps with about a 60-second rest period in between. So for me, I found that this was a pretty good way to ease myself into working out, just because you're not really killing yourself in a group class where someone's yelling at you to go, 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 go. So you kind of take it slow and get into your pace and get into your groove so that you can actually make it through to the end of the workout. All right, so my camera just cut off, so I'm just gonna finish this video on this phone. And then, like I said, once you have that baseline set, you can then start to customize it for your actual workout goals. For example, when you're trying to lose weight, you definitely more want to do higher reps with lower rest periods in between. For strength training, you probably would want to do higher reps, but with lower repetitions and longer rest periods. So it all just depends on what best fits for you. And probably for me, I think the best way to actually start out as a beginner is to do circuit training, which will help you to really have a full structure of your workout after you do cardio. I just find that it's the easiest thing to follow. So for example, what I'm doing during this 12-week program is to do a circuit of about 3 to 5 workouts, and I only rest for about 30 to 45 seconds between my first and next circuit, and I would do about 3 or 4 circuit rounds. Then lastly, I kind of touched on this a little bit, but when you're doing the circuit style training, it's a lot easier to make them very versatile and kind of build out your circuits in a way that you're doing the combinations that I was saying before, of maybe combining compound movements and isolation movements, combining standard sets with drop sets, body weight workouts with weighted workouts, and then leaving a circuit for your burnout where you're doing supersetting. So like I said, it's so many things that you can customize to your liking. And that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this Snatched for Summer 2021 challenge. If you guys haven't subscribed already, I'll be uploading a new video every Saturday for this whole challenge. And also I'll be posting more day-to-day updates on Instagram and TikTok. So please follow me there too. And for everyone that's been here and knows how this thing goes, then please leave a like and comment below on how your progress is going, and if you also decided to create your own program too. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys in week 3. See ya. Bye.